So, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella just spoke at the World Economic Forum in Davos, and he laid out this massive vision for the AI era. And look, it goes way beyond just the tech itself. We're talking global economics, corporate strategy, even the future of work. So, what are the big takeaways from his talk? Well, let's break it down. Right off the bat, Nadella starts with this really powerful idea. He's basically arguing that this entire AI revolution, well, it all hangs on one single factor: diffusion. It's not about who creates the cool new tech, it's about how widely and how evenly the benefits get spread to everyone everywhere. And this idea, this concept of diffusion, that's the thread we're going to pull on throughout this whole thing. All right, so to really get into it, we're going to look at 5 key areas. We'll kick off with that big bubble versus revolution debate. Then we'll see how AI is totally rewriting the corporate playbook. After that, we'll check out the new competitive landscape it's creating, dive into Nadella's really interesting take on what sovereignty means now, and finally, we'll talk about how to actually win in a multi-model future. Okay, first up, the big one. The question that's on everybody's mind. With all these billions and billions of dollars being poured into AI, are we just inflating another giant tech bubble? And this is the fundamental tension, isn't it? We see these huge, massive investments, especially from the big players. But is all that spending actually creating real, lasting value? Or is it just a kind of supply-side frenzy that's going to pop? Nadella frames the answer in a really smart way. He says a bubble. Well, that's when all the conversation is just about the tech companies themselves and how much they're spending. But a revolution, that's when we start talking about real-world results. Like a pharmaceutical company developing a new drug faster because an AI has sped up the trials. It's when AI actually genuinely bends the productivity curve for everyone. So you see, for this whole AI boom to be the real deal, its benefits have to spread out. They have to diffuse. The whole point is to create real economic surplus in local communities all over the world, not just more profits for the tech giants. It's about getting past just admiring the technology and actually using it to solve everyday problems. Okay, so if that's the goal, how does it actually change things on the ground? Let's talk about how this whole idea of diffusion forces companies to completely rethink the way they work. And this isn't just about getting a new piece of software. We're talking about a fundamental rewiring of the whole organization. And Nadella gives this great personal example that just nails it. He said to get ready for Davos, he didn't wait for his team to send notes up the chain of command. He just asked his AI copilot for a complete brief on everything. And then he pushed that information back down and out to the whole team. See what's happening? It's a total flip. Information isn't trickling up anymore. It's flowing everywhere, instantly. It just flattens the old hierarchy. So how do you manage that kind of change? Nadella lays out a pretty simple 3-step formula. First, it's all about mindset. You have to actually want to change how the work gets done. Second, skills. You can't be afraid of the tools. You got to jump in, use them, learn them, build trust. And third, and this might be the most important part, data. You have to feed the AI all the unique context, all the unspoken, on-the-ground knowledge that makes your company special. That is what turns a generic tool into your own secret weapon. Now, this new way of working, it doesn't just change companies on the inside. It creates a brand new economic reality. It's this fiercely competitive world where the old rules about who wins and who loses are being completely turned on their head. Nadella calls this the barbell effect. And it's a perfect way to think about it. On one side, you've got these small, nimble companies that can build their entire operation around these new AI tools right from the get-go. Their big challenge? Getting to scale. But then on the other side, you've got the huge, established companies. They have all the customers, all the data, all the know-how. Their challenge? It's trying to turn that giant ship. It's massive organizational change. And nobody gets to just sit still. And underpinning this whole new competitive field is a new fundamental economic unit, AI tokens. Nadella makes this really bold claim. He says from now on, a country's GDP growth is going to be directly tied to how efficiently it can turn energy into these AI tokens. The new metric for success is tokens per dollar per watt. Basically, the cheaper you can make AI think, the stronger your economy is going to be. And this new way of measuring economic power, it leads us to maybe one of the most counterintuitive points Nadella makes. It's a complete redefinition of what sovereignty even means in the age of AI. I mean, we hear politicians talking about data sovereignty all the time, right? But what does that concept really mean when intelligence itself can be generated pretty much anywhere, anytime? So, the common view of sovereignty is all about geography. Where are the data centers? Are they in my country? But Nadella argues that's the least important part. He says true sovereignty isn't about location, it's about knowledge. It's about your ability to take all that unique, hard won knowledge from your organization and bake it into an AI model that you control. Think about it like this. If you're just pouring your company's secret sauce into somebody else's giant model, you're basically just leaking value. Real control, real sovereignty comes from making sure that your unique competitive edge is protected in this new world. It's about owning what makes you, you. So how do you actually build this new kind of sovereignty? Well, as we're about to see in our final section, it's definitely not going to be with one single all-powerful AI. Nadella is super clear on this point. The whole idea of one model to rule them all, he says it's just wrong. The future is going to be a whole ecosystem of different models. You'll have open source, closed source, huge ones, small ones. The real strategic advantage is going to come from how you orchestrate all of them together. And this right here, this is the new playbook for creating corporate IP. Your real intellectual property is your ability to be the conductor of this orchestra of models. Maybe you even distill them down to build your own smaller, specialized models. You feed them your unique data, your unique context, and what you get at the end is a reasoning capability that you control, one that produces a unique outcome just for your business. That's the whole game now. So we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. In this new world, protecting your company's value isn't just about making sure your key employees don't quit. The bigger, scarier question is this. Are you making sure that the collective intelligence of your entire organization, its most valuable asset, is being captured and controlled by you? Or is it slowly but surely just becoming training data for someone else?